Hello friends, I have beautiful Tracy here. She is one of the most spiritually bravest people I've ever met. Do you want to share what are like the biggest, deepest beliefs that you were able to release?
How I see myself and my body and my weight issues, which I have had all my life. They were massive, massive things for me. It's as if roadblocks have just been taken out of the way.
This heavy belief that you are not worthy of love, did I understand it correctly?
Yes,
That's how it was?
yes.
Yeah, because of excess weight. But where is it now? Do you feel like it dissolved, or what happened to it?
It's up there somewhere.
Evaporated?
Yeah, it's gone. You can have it. It's gone.
How does it feel?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah.
You said that you grew up in a family where you didn't really feel like secure and fully loved, and that you feel like you grew up with this emotional like stiffness or something like that, you said? So
Yes.
Could you share a little bit more about it?
Yes. I mean, I'm guessing it was quite an average childhood that lots of people might have had. But when I look back, I can see that, maybe my parents weren't as able, to be parents, and I took on a bit too much responsibility, that maybe a child shouldn't take on. But I do remember having, body image problems from quite a young age. I certainly remember having to go to hospital about 5 years old, and for some reason I was looked at in a public place. And I'm guessing that with a 5-year-old child they thought that, that was okay, that I was a sweet child and everything, but being stripped down to just my pants, I felt mortified, and I can still feel that feeling today. And it was followed by quite a few things that happened to me, like some potential boyfriends saying, "Oh, you're nearly perfect. If it wasn't for that, you just need to work on that," and things like that happened a few times. And I do remember my dad saying to me, who I know my dad loved me. He didn't mean anything by it, but he said to me on my 17th birthday, we were having a party, and he just put his arms around me and said, "Oh, you look wonderful, but if you could just start losing that puppy fat, it would be better for you." And I look back and I didn't hear the "I love you, you look wonderful." What I remembered was basically, if you're fat, you're unlovable. And I know that stayed with me for a long time. And there are other examples, and I'm sure many people have examples of where they've been in this situation. Today they call it fat shaming, but it does happen. And of course, if it's your issue, then it's going to layer up and layer up and layer up.
Yeah.
And I just believe from working on these things in the past that experience has been quite deep for me.
Yeah.
So I think I've equated not being lovable at times, and particularly times when I've been bigger. There's been a couple of times that I've been bigger and then lost the weight, and it does make you feel, quite alone and isolated, and and that you don't belong.
Many viewers can relate to that.
Yes,
including me.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. I think it is. It's common, not necessarily in the same way or things like that, but it's common.
Very common.
And I think we end up carrying something.
Yes.
So it could be here, or it could be there, or the weight itself. Yeah. That's the metaphor, isn't it, really?
Yes.
So we're holding something somewhere which isn't servicing us.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And you, I'm guessing that you realized that it was your limiting belief that you're unlovable, that it's not true.
Yes.
And some part of you love yourself already. When do you feel this journey started for you, the discovery of realizing that you can break free from it, that is a limitation that you can break free?
Yes. So I think I've known it for a long time. So
Yeah.
I think it's something that interests me. Self-help books, looking at YouTubes, or even before there was YouTube. What I would say is there's a difference between knowing it and feeling it.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna guess that's the sticking point for a lot of people, because I can't see that I'm any different than anybody else.
Yeah.
So you might find yourself being the sort of person, you might be going on retreats, you might be going on juicing fasts, or it could be the other way, it could be activity holidays. You might be trying to exercise your way out of it, for example, and thinking that's the way to do it. If you're attracted to any of these sorts of things, that you're following particular people on social media, you probably already know it.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're putting yourself in a position where you're getting the messages, but something's got to happen, and it's got to happen from you for those messages to finally go in.
Yeah.
And I can remember one example, and I must be going back 15, 20 years even, and it was a chiropractor, and I'd had yet another injury, and he was working on my back, and I just said, I'm fed up of this, I just don't want to be myself anymore. And he said, oh, so who would you like to be? Well, it just felt like a revelation, because I thought, well, nobody. Nobody.
Yeah.
I want to be me.
Yeah.
There isn't anybody else I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to be me. So given that I want to be me, what is it about me that thinks I don't want to be me?
Yeah.
Because actually the core is that I do want to be me. So it's a shift of focus. It's a shift of focus, and instead of doing this, looking at this, following that, you just might need to hone it and see where is maybe the one place that you might get the help, or what is the one thing that you can do, because just that one thing could propel you so much more forward than be doing all of these different things, which I've done, and I know other people do as well. Oh, did you see? Oh, have you read this? Oh, have you done this?
Yeah.
Trying to get the message all the time, but it's the other way around.
Yeah.
It's the other way around.
So trying to understand it all logically and knowing, how it's supposed to be, but deep inside, in your subconscious mind, there's still a resistance.
Yes. Yes. You're not feeling it.
You're not feeling
Yes.
it fully, because there is some deep belief.
Yes.
And you mentioned that you were feeling like rigid.
Yes.
I think you said
Yes.
rigid. So it looks like that journey was a long journey, and for you understanding that and trying to achieve this freedom. So do you feel like this mental or emotional rigidity that was also kind of stopping you?
Yes, and since I've been here, I think I now realise that it was manifested physically.
Yeah.
So without a doubt, I've known that I've been rigid. So since my accident, I've got a few problems. So I hold myself, and it's rigid. And if I have a massage or anything, they always go, oh dear, or what's going. So I've known that. And again, that's a representation of it. So if you're feeling something like that, how else are you going to manifest it?
Yeah.
Then, so you can't live life like that
Yeah.
if you're feeling rigid, and that big message has happened here. Definitely. Yeah.
So what you meant to say is that you started feeling how it's loosening
Yes.
everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's physically loosening because I'm mentally loosening.
Yeah.
And
Beautiful.
and again, it needed to happen that way round.
Yeah.
So I've done everything, to become more loose, but it needed to be mental.
It needed to be
It needed to
from
be, and I
inside,
completely
from
see that. Yeah.
So your transformation, like you just transforming right in front of my eyes from deep inside, the way you tell me these things, the way you feel, I could see it. It's absolutely, I think it's like the most phenomenal transformation that I've seen so far. And like, wow, where did you find the courage to open up enough to these sessions that we did, to these conversations, to these deep conversations? Because usually when I ask questions like that, people kind of back off. What helped you to be courageous enough to open up so much and went so deep and really question your deepest core beliefs?
In a nutshell, I wanted it. I really wanted it. And it's sitting here now, after a week, it's hard to think how low I was just, in the week before coming here. How scared I was, because I was. But I was excited. So I was excited, I've seen you online, I've seen Jessie online, I wanted it. It was like it was as if you were medicines on a shelf, and I knew that I wanted that one. Well, I've tried all the others, and that isn't going to be it. And why not just throw yourself into it once you're here? What would be the point of not?
Yeah,
really. I wouldn't have wanted to go home regretting that I hadn't basically engaged.
Yeah. And you felt discomfort, of course. I mean, you're stepping, big time out of your comfort zone. So you felt discomfort, and it manifested physically even.
Yes.
At some point.
Yeah.
So how did it feel for you? Did you feel like, oh no, what I'm doing, or did you welcome this discomfort?
Absolutely welcomed it. I think that's probably the best piece of advice that I could give to anybody. It's going to go away, and the reason it's going to go away is because you've done the work.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you don't do the work, it's just always going to be there, and it's a niggling
like
thing.
Splinter, yeah.
Yes.
Splinter,
it's a niggling thing.
If you leave it there, it will be just passing.
Yeah. I like to see it as a massive backpack.
Yeah.
That's the way that's what works for me, because you are carrying it around. I do remember watching a program with a group of people it was all about weight loss. And after they'd lost a significant amount, and some of them had, tens of pounds, they then put that weight on them as a backpack, and then made them go for a big walk, or not quite a mountain, but a very hilly walk. And they couldn't believe the difference putting that weight back on that only a few months ago they were wearing. And that really went into me. I thought, that makes sense to me. Why are we carrying around something that we don't need to be?
Yeah, especially the emotional bag.
Which is absolutely.
That's heavier than
the real weights. Yeah.
Beautiful. I'm really completely blown away by your courage and patience. Do you want to share what are like the biggest things that you released, that you were able to release, the deepest beliefs?
How I see myself and my body and my weight issues, which I have had all my life, so as long as I can remember. So I think they were massive things for me. It's as if roadblocks have just been taken out of the way. Being able to look back on something that was so significant, knowing that I had it a bit skewed, but not knowing sort of what to do about it.
Yeah.
To work through that, and just to be able to go, and so that thing then doesn't have the power over you that it had before. It's an awakening. I don't want that anymore, and you want to look forward. Yeah.
Beautiful. When you came, did you feel like less secure in the body? Do you feel more secure now? or more confident?
Oh yes, I definitely felt less secure, and yes, I definitely feel more secure, but more able to move.
More able
You know,
to-
just more able to move with everything that we've been doing.
So do you feel like this heavy belief that what happened to it? Did it dissolve? Did it, like this heavy belief that you are not worthy of love? Did I understand it correctly?
Yes,
That's how it was?
yes.
Yeah, because of excess weight. But where is it now? Did it? Do you feel like it dissolved, or what happened to it?
It's up there somewhere.
Evaporated.
Yeah, it's. Oh, you can have it. It's gone.
How does it feel?
It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
If Tracy did it, if I did it, you can do it too.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah, we invite you to explore not only trying to release the weight physically, but also explore these deep-seated beliefs that even when people release the weight, like Tracy did, released a lot of weight, and still she felt insecure because it's deep inside that belief that is really holding you back. And when we release the belief, then you feel freer, right?
Right, absolutely.
And the weight is just, I'm very curious to see, but the little bit of extra, it will probably just be released so much more easier. It just kind of tends to melt away. At least this is what happened to me.
Yes. Well, because it's no longer the focal point of life.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you're just enjoying
In fact,
yourself.
yeah.
And also when it comes to cravings, which I talk a lot about on my channel, do you feel now less attracted to the foods that you were craving before you came to the retreat?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I mean, I knew I loved eating this way anyway. I just wasn't confident. But it was after a day or two, I noticed it straight away. No cravings, no hungers, just satisfied. So it's nutrition, and that's what the body needs. And then you don't want all of this other stuff.
Yeah, greens.
It's just being marvellous.
For almost
greens.
every
Yes.
meal, and enough calories.
Yes.
Enough
Yeah.
calories, yeah. So I'm so grateful that you agreed to share with others your beautiful journey, because I'm completely blown away by it. The way you bloomed like a flower.
Well, it was because of you and Jessie. I mean, and it was the environment, and it's all set up for success if you're able to take advantage of it. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you.
And I'm so excited to see your journey, how it unfolds, and we will stay in touch.
Stay in touch.
Yeah. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
That's okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you next
Good luck,
video.
everybody.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. Bye.
Bye bye.